How do you find slope from 2 points? Let me take you through this example and teach you how. So we're trying to find the slope of the line that passes through these 2 points. If you want, you can always sketch it out. I created my coordinate plane. I went left, right, up, down, 6 units in every direction because 6 was the largest number in my 2 ordered pairs. My first point is negative 3, 6, so I go left 3 and up 6, and I place my point here. My second point is 2, negative 4, so I go right 2 and down 4. So I want the slope of the line that connects these 2 points. Remember, slope is just rise over run. So to find the slope, all I really need to do is count how much do I go up or down, and then how much do I go left or right to get from one point to the next. Because slope is rise over run, I personally like to start with my up and down movement before I go left or right. So let me start with my first point, negative 3, 6. To get to that second point, I need to go down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I went down 10 units. Now I'm going to go to the right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I go to the right 5 units. My slope then is going to be the ratio of my vertical movement to my horizontal movement. Vertically, I went down 10, which means negative 10, and horizontally, I went right 5. Right is a positive movement, so I have a positive 5. And then I just simplify. Negative 10 over 5 would be negative 2 over 1, or negative 2. So if I wanted to, I could have started at my first point and just gone down to right 1, and I would have ended up on my line. Let's go ahead and look at that. So starting again at this first point, if I go down to right 1, you'll notice that I land on my line. I could do it again, down to right 1, and I would land on my line. Down to right 1, and I'm back on my line. So this negative 10 over 5 says specifically how you would get from your first point to your last point on this line, but the slope of the line is just how do you get from any one point to another point on the line. And the simplest way would be to go down to right 1. Doing that, you get from one point to the very next point on the line, and you can follow that pattern as many times as you like. Okay, now how would we do this without graphing? We have a formula for slope, and that is the change in our y's, which is basically just how far apart they are. We saw a second ago on our graph for this example, there's a negative 10 there, and the change in our x's, which we saw was 5 for our graph. Notice that I have these subscripts of 2's going first and the 1's going second. It really doesn't matter what comes first and what comes second. But what does matter is that whatever you have on top matches the bottom. So I could switch it around and go y1 minus y2, but then on the bottom I have to have x1 minus x2. It really doesn't matter. This is just subscripts to say that the y2 and the x2 go together and the y1 and the x1 go together. That notation is saying I want the y value from the second point, and on the bottom I want the x value from the second point. And then y1 and x1 are the x and y values from the first point. Again, it really doesn't matter which one's first or second, but what does matter is the ones on top of each other have to go together. I'll go ahead and call my first point here point number 1, and this will be point number 2, which means that x1 is negative 3, y1 is 6, and x2 is 2, and y2 is negative 4. I'll go ahead and plug these into my formula. y2 is negative 4 minus y1 is 6, and in the denominator I have x2 is 2 minus my x1, which is negative 3. Simplifying, on top I've got negative 10, and on bottom I've got 2 negatives which make each other positive. 2 plus 3 is 5. That probably looks familiar, and it should. I can reduce this down by dividing by 5 on top and bottom. So my slope simplifies to -2/1, which is just -2. So the slope of our line is -2, and that is it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.